new wall that we're going to hang this sign on is 30,631 square feet. So this sign is 1.3% of the wall sign, and we believe that that's extremely low. Matter of fact, I've looked at some other signs. I believe that a small sign in proportion to the wall that is on is 3 times bigger in percentage. In other words, 3 or 3.5%, and even more would be a small sign in percentage of a wall, and we're at 1.3. I'd call to your attention your staff report as well. I think your staff report suggests that a smaller sign on such a large wall would look out of place, and I couldn't agree more with that sentiment in that comment. So we believe that the request to have a oversized sign on such an oversized wall is in keeping with the spirit and purpose of the sign ordinance. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I don't think we're going to get any from the public tonight.
Do any members have any questions?
Is this an illuminated sign?
I'm sorry?
Illuminated?
It is gooseneck, external.
I have a question. I live by the plant, so
Is this
like
the,
that neighborhoods or?
Hold on, ma'am. Ma'am, we will open it to public questioning, and then at that time, we'll want to hear your name and where you're from. But in just a moment, we'll be able to get to you. I apologize. Right now, we're just taking questions from the commissioners.
we will open up for public expression in a few moments, okay? Thank you for waiting.
Probably the 1 or 2% is a relatively low number. I don't disagree. The face of the building, how far is it from Indianapolis Boulevard?
I have that figure. It's 295 feet.
Okay, thank you.
A football field?
Yes, more or less.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just to clarify, when you say gooseneck lights, these lights are going to be directed towards the building, right?
Exactly correct.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Anything else you would like to add with your presentation?
No.
Staff, is there anything you'd like to bring to anybody's attention?
I think the commissioner brought up the point I was going to, so no.
All right. We will now open up for public comments. So, Amy, are you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you state your name and address, please?
My name is Amy Dansack. I live at 6704 Waveland. I'm right across from the plant. They have been a pretty good neighbor, and when there was a problem, she's been quick to act on it. But I'm curious, what kind of lighting is going to be up there? Is it going to float back into the neighborhoods? They've got quite a few lights on the building that face toward the neighborhoods as it is. And I'm just curious.
Before we continue with you, do you need to have her spell her last name? Yes. Would you spell your last name, please, for the record? Amy, could you please spell your last name for the record?
Tansisk.
Did you get that? Thank you very much.
That's it.
All right, well, we'll see if there's any other people in the public. Do you have any other questions, Amy?
No, that's probably my biggest concern.
Okay, stay online. Anybody else in the public?
If you called in via phone, I believe it's *6 to unmute. If you need to unmute, *6.
Okay. Would you like to respond to the comments?
So the only purpose of tonight's meeting is the sign. All other signage, all other lighting would be consistent with your code. We're not asking for any variances with regard to that. And as I indicated, this is an illuminated sign, but it'll be externally illuminated with gooseneck lighting that will be directed to the sign. In other words, away from Indianapolis Boulevard and external properties. And as we identified, we're nearly a football field away from the property line.
Yeah, so to be clear, this will be facing to the west, and the sign itself will be facing to the west and won't be near the neighborhood.
Exactly. I've been involved in issues with regard to lighting, and it's common for objections to be made to lighting, whether it's a building light or whether it's a sign, that is visible at night versus bright. And the zoning concerns are always what I refer to as fugitive lighting. In other words, light that leaves the property. That won't happen with this sign because all of the light is going to be directed to the sign. That's the purpose of the lighting of the sign.
Yes. And just to clarify from staff, and when we did review the plans for the new plant addition, we did get a photometric plan with it. So if you have any concerns about current lighting, please reach out to my department, and we can ensure that the photometric plan reflects the reality of the neighborhood. So,
Thank you very much.
of course, thank
for
you.
waiting. Anyone else in the public? We will close public comments at this time.
Oh, and to be clear, my department is, we are city planning. My name's Tom Novak, and it will be the same number that you received with the letter you received.
Did you get that, Amy?
Thank you very much.
Nope.
Well, that's fine.
Thank you for attending. All right, so we will now formally close public comments and move to the board's presentation, the staff's presentation.
Oh, I apologize. In the matter of,
It's time for that, right?
yes, already. In the matter of Z-2309, the petition of Hutamaki on the developmental variance, the staff recommendation reads as follows. Staff has reviewed the petitioner's request and recommends that the BZA grant the developmental variance should the board feel the petitioner has met the standards.
All right. Basically, no changes or revisions, correct?
None from the staff.
Okay. Board members have copies of the staff's proposed findings of fact. Questions, comments? Mr. Hudson?
I have a question. This will be the only sign on this face of the building?
That's true, yes.
Okay.
With the possible exception of directional signs or door signs or those kinds of things. Identification sign, yes.
We call that wayfinding.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any comments in regard to the proposed findings of fact? Do we have a motion to adopt the staff report and the proposed findings of fact as presented as the official findings of fact?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Could we have a roll call vote?
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
Roger Brock,
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Kathleen Hill,
Yes?
5 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Do we have a motion in regard to as far as approving or denying the developmental variance for Z-23-09?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the developmental variance for Z-23-09. We have a roll call vote.
Nancy Reagan,
Yes.
Roger Brock.
Yes.
William Hutton.
Yes.
Kathleen Hill.
Yes?
4 ayes, 0 nays, 0 abstentions, motion passed.
Excellent. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you for your presentation. Any commissioners' comments?
I'd like to know when the ribbon cutting is.
We're going to work with the city on that. It'll probably be in the fall.
Okay, thanks.
You'll be most welcome.
Yeah, for those listening online, they indicated the construction should hopefully be done, grand ribbon cutting in the fall.
Any staff comments?
No, other than we are looking at a potential case for next month.
That would be for
July.
June?
I'm sorry, June.
27th?
June 20, I believe it's June 27th, Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, according to what I have from meeting schedule.
Tuesday, June 27th.
Yes.
June 27th.
Any public comment? Do we need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good luck. One of our shortest meetings.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
For the record.